Okay.
So, welcome back. We're now going to move on to the second part of the Madlen Meeting. And our first speaker is with us, just a young chap with us, is Stuart Hobson from Arizona State University, and he's also joining us this afternoon. Believe, Sean, you're going to introduce yourself and all right, go over to Sean.
Great. Well, thank you, and thank you so much for inviting me today. My name is Sean Hobson. I'm Assistant Vice President of Strategic Design and Development here at Arizona State University. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about quality today, which is such a huge topic and has many different avenues for which you can take it. But I'm going to talk a little bit particularly about how we address quality with our online education programs. And I'm going to set up a bit of context first to let you know a little bit more about who we are. And thank you so much for inviting me to participate. I must admit this is the first time I've done a video conference presentation across the ocean or the pond, as they say, in this way. So this is an exciting learning experience for me too. So I'm going to go ahead and share my presentation here, and I won't be able to see anymore, but you can interrupt me at any time if you have questions or if for some reason you're not hearing or me okay. Okay. So we don't get. Oh, I just. So we were there a couple of months ago, and this is me on the left, and we were meeting with your president and some of your administrative staff around um, figuring out ways that we can work together. We have similar missions or charters, so to speak, and we don't get very far in a conversation without looking back at what we're trying to accomplish. So ASU is a Research One university, but we measure ourselves by whom we include, not who we exclude, and moreover, how they succeed once they graduate from the institution. With that mission, and here we are in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm calling you or talking to you now from Skysong, which is a campus about 2 miles from our main Tempe campus. We're actually in a new building. I noticed a lot of people walking in with jackets and scarves. Right now it's about 54 degrees Celsius, and we're in our peak time of the year. In a couple of months, it'll be more like an oven. Uh, and so we have really four areas in this new area at ASU called Ed Plus that's really focused on leveraging educational technology, leveraging uh, new ways of delivering instruction to both our units within ASU, but also through our strategic partners. Manchester being one such partner, and this is an example of how we are looking to work together with institutions who share similar core values. So we have these four areas, and mostly I'm going to talk today about our education core. So education core is really another name for ASU Online. ASU Online is, oh, excuse me. ASU Online is the online branch of our university. ASU, we have close to 80,000 students, or 85,000 students. We have four physical campuses, and then we have our online campus. Online campus students are now at about 12,000 students, and we have about 80 or more fully online degree programs that we offer. This is just a breakdown of those programs, 41 undergrad, 39 graduate programs, and then we have a host of certificates. To give you an idea, a little bit more about the breadth of the work that we do. Last year we worked on over 600 courses delivered 70 or so workshops to our academics, um, trained over 1,300 academics, and we did 10 fully online boot camps. And I'll talk to you a little bit more about what that is shortly. This is just a quick look at the growth of our online programs over the last 5 years. We've done distance learning at ASU for decades, but 5 years ago we made a real strategic push to grow our online programs, grow our online students, um, and really reach this non-traditional student population who otherwise wouldn't have access to a higher education experience. And I'll talk a little bit more about that student population here in a few slides. This is our enrollment growth for our fully online campus students. And again, the fully online students, uh, they will not come to campus. They'll do their entire 4 years or 2 years completely online. The majority of these students are what we call transferring into the university with some sort of previous educational experience. And so most of them are completing their degrees through the online delivery platform. This is a look at a host of our students. And so what you might notice right off the bat is they're not the traditional 18-year-old student. We still, uh, the online programs are really designed, again, to deliver these educational opportunities to people who otherwise don't have access, or they have conflicting responsibilities, whether it be full-time careers, whether it be um, family obligations. The majority, we're 65% female in our online degree programs. The average age is about 29 or 30. Um, and so it's a much different audience than we have coming to our what we would call our brick and mortar campuses. So quality. Um, so now that you have a bit of the context around the purpose of ASU Online, um, let's talk a little bit more about the things that need to be in place to be able to serve that growing number of students in a quality way. And it starts from the minute a student is interested in going back to school or taking an online degree program to graduation. And so there's really an obsession in our area around quality, and so we really try to design systems and programs to help that student succeed from the minute they start to the minute they graduate. And so I'm going to talk mostly about what we do with our faculty, how we design quality online course experiences. But it's important to acknowledge that there's many other things uh, that come to mind when we talk about quality. Um, we strive to create every opportunity for the online campus student that they would get in a traditional brick and mortar experience, whether that be online tutoring, online student services, online financial aid. All of those things are services that we need to design and provide to our online degree seeking students. I'll spend just a minute talking about some of those services. Through our technology partners, we provide um, a pathway from when a student is interested in taking a program all the way till they start working with the academics on the instructional side of things. So we provide enrollment coaching where a student can get support or coaching through what they need to be admitted into the institution, how financial aid systems work, how to transfer over any existing credits that they may have accrued from previous institutions. And then we also have retention coaches. And this is a tutor type of role that assists a student through their academic uh, process. And so, as you might imagine, in an online degree program, there are a few things that are absolutely critical in terms of success. One such metric, for example, is we can predict at a very high rate if a student doesn't log in to the online learning management system within the first week of the course, that their likelihood of succeeding is diminished greatly. So we have retention coaches that help track that and a number of other things so that we can have a one-on-one personalized relationship with our students to make sure that they understand what they need to do to be successful in an online degree program. So now I'm going to switch a little bit and I'm going to talk about what we do with instructional design. This is a very important role for us. I think you may have learning designers at your institution. But we have instructional designers that work on quality across all of these spectrums. Um, their primary role, however, is working with faculty or academics to help them rethink, re-engineer, redesign their curriculum, and quite frankly, the way they deliver their curriculum for an online environment. In 2013, we have about uh, 16 full-time instructional designers that work on a portfolio of courses and programs. And so we worked on about 600 programs or 600 projects, I'm sorry, last year or 2 years ago at this time. This is a look uh, at the role of the instructional designer. This was kind of a neat little exercise we did where we asked the instructional designers. There's a broader team of about 30 or so at the entire university. We asked them, "What is it that you think you do?" And we got all these responses. You know, we're communicators, we're builders, we're fixers, we do evaluation, we help form relationship, we design. And then we asked them, "What is it that you think academics think you do?" And the majority of which got responses around technical support, uh, helping me with my computer. And so there was a real mismatch between what the IDs think they do and the roles that they can really serve, and then who the people that they support, how they think that they can help them. And so that's where communication is at the very top in terms of the important skill set for an instructional designer, because it's about gaining trust and helping understand what it is that an academic is trying to accomplish in their course from an objective standpoint so that they can help them achieve that in a quality way in an online environment. So the instructional designer, I can't express enough how critical this role is towards our success, towards our growth. And they can work on a number of different things from course design to managing projects as well. Another part, and this is something that we've been working on and learning through our work over the last 5 years, is really having systems in place. Um, so we work, all of our online degree programs are offered through our academic units across the institution. We don't have our own academics. They are the same academics who teach our on-ground students, our same researchers who are researching in our main campuses. But we need to have, as instructional designers, agreements with units around um, things like what it is in terms of quality that we expect from our programs and from our courses. This is an example of an expectations document that you see here. It talks about what we expect in terms of quality. It talks about our expectations around academic trainings, and communication with instructional designers, communication with students in an online environment, There's a rich body of literature around what makes a quality online course, not just from a design perspective, but from a teaching and learning perspective. And so this is something that we try and set up at the very beginning of our work with a department or an academic, so that we can just follow some of these basic guidelines that we know will create a better experience for everyone involved, from the academics themselves to the students that they are serving. A few other things that we have a course checklist that we use as a guideline for the actual design and development, and these are several of a number of things. And um, I think I shared a couple of documents that people can access to read further. But these are all around process and implementation. As we grow, we understand that um, we can't have a quality experience without having these expectations set up front and followed consistently across all of our programs. And this has been something that really we've been thinking about since the beginning, and we're gaining a lot of traction on it. But it's something that you have to keep on top of, and really build into your systems if you want to achieve a high level of quality across a large portfolio of programs and courses. I mentioned briefly Quality Matters. This is a really important tool for us. It's at the core, it's a peer review rubric system that really outlines the main criteria for which to design and develop a high quality online course. It's about the course design itself. It's not about the teaching. That's certainly up to the academics, and we don't get involved in that part of it. But there are principles around a high quality online course design that we can use to help um, ensure that we have a great course. And it's mostly about at the center of it, just making sure that there's alignment. And by alignment, I mean alignment between what you're trying to accomplish or the learning outcomes of the course, and then the materials that are put in place to support that. Whether it be the assessments that you have, the content, the videos, all those things need to be in alignment with what you're trying to accomplish in the learning outcomes. Otherwise, you run the risk of confusing students, wasting time on areas that don't need to be addressed and aren't going to be measured in relationship with the learning outcomes. Quality Matters is something that's also a system where people can get certified. And so all of our instructional designers are QM certified. There's also a role for academics to become peer reviewers, earn some um, extra salary if they like, and it's a real community around developing and designing quality online courses. And we've reviewed many of these, and Quality Matters has been something that we kind of um, we've adopted and used with all of our programs. We offer workshops in these areas as well. And so workshops and trainings are another very important thing that we do. We've been growing this portfolio. We have over 70 workshops and webinars that we offer. In the last couple of years, we've had over 1,300 faculty registrants, and these are something we offer on a semi-regular basis. It's really important when we design and deliver these that we understand when they're delivered. So we offer, for example, a refresher uh, course on how to get your course set up right before each term starts. But we also really want people in academics to understand what it's like to be a student in an online course. That's why we designed the boot camp for teaching online. It's a 12. Um, we've done 12 of these, and it's a 2 week session delivered fully online, for which academics are enrolled as students, and they go through a series of materials um, to mostly reinforce what it's like to be an online student. We cover some technology pieces, but mostly it's about communication, management, those types of things that, unless you really have the experience of an online student, you may miss um, towards delivering online courses. This has been very successful, um, and something that we'd be happy to talk in more detail about, and possibly enroll some people um, as well if they would like to see how it's designed and developed. Just a few comments from folks who have taken the boot camp. I think the top one is something that we really hear a lot. We have a number of people who are already teaching online, but still, if they want to teach for an online program, they must go through the boot camp. And so some folks talking about, even though I've taught online for quite a while, there's really more that I can do, and that's always the case. Two other sites that we curate and facilitate are our Teach Online website. This is a resource that all of our instructional designers write articles for, um, and this is something that has got has been very successful for us. And so there's articles about all kinds of tips and tricks about teaching online. And then Succeed Online is another site that's student focused. So these are for all of our fully online degree seeking students, mostly about how to be a successful online student. So I'm just going to do a time check. I can't see. How much time do I have? Can anybody give me an idea?
About 5 minutes, Sean.
5 minutes. Okay. So do we want to do, I can jump into some technology stuff. I think that I'll do that. I'll try and do that quick, and then we can take questions. And let me share again. Okay. So you might have noticed I talk about technology last. Um, this is really, it helps keep everything going, but it's not by any means the most important component. Um, it is certainly the most interesting in many respects, but we are really a flexible organization when it comes to technology. So this graph you see in front of you here is an example of all of the technology providers that we work with. We created this to put some context around the, the, the way that technology helps us facilitate and improve our courses. And so you see they're broken into categories based on the primary function that they serve. And our instructional designers make recommendations to use these technologies based on the outcomes that they're trying to achieve. And we are constantly evaluating, piloting, partnering with new vendors and technologies because this is a kind of an ever changing field. And this wheel that you see in front of you was out of date 2 days after we built it, but that's just the nature of the work. And there are some really great technologies that can help deliver education, can help achieve higher level learning outcomes, can help communicate in a much more effective way, like the system that we're using today. And so the trick really isn't, it's more about making appropriate selections of technology based on your ability as an academic to manage it, based on cost structure to your students. All of those types of things are considerations that our instructional designers are experts on. And I think I'll stop there. Um, there's much more that we could go into on any one of these topics, but for a 30-minute overview of who we are and what we do, I think I'll go ahead and stop there and take any questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Sean. So my question was, you talked about the instructional designers had of themselves versus
Hmm.
academics had of them? How do you bridge that gap?
So I think it starts. It's a communication challenge.
We've lost sound.
Eh? Sean, can you hear us? Can't hear us.
The communication
Oh,
challenge. Go on.
hang on. This microphone's been switched. It's off. Okay, you're looking. Try again.
How about now?
Yes. Okay, thumbs up.
Okay. So the first step is learning sign language. No, no, it's a communication challenge as much as anything. And so um, the purpose of the exercise was to, at the very least, let the instructional design staff know that this is something they really have to work on in the first meeting. And so typically the process works that you have a first meeting with an academic around what it is that they're trying to accomplish. Um, and to be honest, in that first meeting, uh, we like to talk about everything but the course because it's really a personal relationship that you're trying to to make with an academic about who you are, what contributions you can make, and what they're trying to accomplish. Um, Oftentimes, with the design and development of online materials, the course itself is the easy part. There's other things like what are the other responsibilities that an academic may have that could get in the way from designing and developing a high quality course? What are the research interests, for example, that could be incorporated into the design and development of a course to help facilitate, what are their interests in technologies? All these things that are kind of circling around the course design and development are really important things for an instructional designer to learn and to build into a design and development plan. So it's about strong communication.
Okay, thank you. We've got time for one more question. Yep.
I just wondered, pension challenge, and I wonder if you could offer any top tips learned over the years to improve retention.
Retention. So I think so. An online environment is a little bit different, and I think that's why we have these retention coaches. It's it's mostly about getting students engaged early and often, providing high quality feedback in a timely fashion. And so these are the types of things that can really help with student engagement. We actually do our courses in 7.5 week terms, and we offer them 6 times a year. And so our courses are very condensed and very um, if a student doesn't get off and going in the first week, then it's their likelihood for success is dramatically decreased. And so mostly it's about staying engaged as an academic, providing timely feedback and communication, and really focusing on getting students involved that first week.